welcome to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph and I'm here today with Drako. It's time to do a playthrough of The Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. This new game from Fantasy Flight Games, and we are so excited to get into this one. And the way this is going to work is it's sort of app-driven, but you also have a board game on the table. So we're going to switch back and forth between the app and the actual table so you can tag along and see everything that happens. We're going to start off though in the app, where we will choose a new game. We're going to start off here. And we select campaign. Now I should mention that this is a demo build of the app, so I have it on my PC. It's going to come, of course, at the 18th of April, so in 9 days from now. It's going to be on, I think, Android, iOS, Steam, for Mac and for PC, all that stuff. And so the only campaign we can do now is just a demo of this Bones of Arnor. Ancient kingdoms once spanned the realm of Arnor, kingdoms that now lay in ruin. The free people who still inhabit these lands are scattered, simple and few. Beyond the poorly patrolled borders, an unknown darkness gathers, and only a small band of ostraced rangers has taken notice of the threat. Halbarad, captain of the Northern Watch, requests your aid. A shadow is within the borders, forces gather outside the rangers' reach, and tales of unquinted dead begins to circulate anew. So, we select difficulty. I think we'll just go with the normal. There's also hard here. Let's do the normal. And we will select the save slot. So yeah, I just tried this out. You know, I did a sort of preview of the app, but let's do an empty one here. So let's see. I am going to play as Legolas, and Drako wanted to be Gimli. Go figure. So there we go. To play a game. So I will start off here with a cloak of level 1 and a great bow of level 1. And then Drako will have a armor and a battle axe. That sounds cool. So the way this works is now we're going to switch over to the table here. Alright, so welcome to the table where we have our things set up here. We have our character sheets, our little plastic figures, of course. And we also have our decks. We have 15 cards each. They are mixed up in a certain way. I don't go through the setup, but it's really easy to follow along with the setup in the Let's Begin or Let's Start Playing rulebook. We also had to, we get to place, like, because I'm Legolas and I have the class of Hunter, I have the Hunter 1 card out here already. It's prepared. And Drako has the Guardian one because Gimli here is a Guardian. Well, you can choose that, but this is the recommended setup for beginning players. Now we also have to go through, as you saw there in the app, we should have some equipment to start off with. So I should have a cloak. I'll put this down here. And Drako, he gets a ring mail. And that was from the armor deck. Now we go into the weapon deck because I should have a great bow. So let's find that. Great bow, and it's level 1. So where's the great bow? Let's see. There's a bunch of cool weapons in here, of course. And there's the great bow, and there's the level 2 great bow as well. But I should have the level 1 great bow. Drako should have the level 1 battle axe. There it is. Okay, so we each start with 2 items, 1 armor and 1 weapon. And as the campaign, this is a campaign game, and as the campaign keeps going, we will be able to, upgrade our equipment, buy new ones, and so on. But that's not something you're going to see in this playthrough because this is just for demo purposes. But later on I'll do a proper sort of solo playthrough where I show all of that. So let's get back to the app. And in the app we are now going to... And actually here we could switch out. But here's... I could have the travel garb instead. Whatever that is. But then we go to a party name. So of course we are going to be called Drako's Crew. There we go. And now we begin. And so let's see, I think we'll have a bit of a story here.
Though few take notice, the vigilant, the wary, and the old, we can feel it, but it is a darkness that rises slowly. It dwells among us, masked and unobtrusive. One must be paranoid to know it's there, to notice, hunt it, and root it out. In recent months, a rash of thefts have swept through Eriador, from the white towers of Emin Beriad to the old ruins of Weathertop. Not 2 weeks past, many of the older treasures of the Shire's Matham House disappear into the night. The significance of these thefts may seem small, but I sense the shadows in their wake. I fear a sinister and hidden purpose, and so I have called for your aid.
Okay, so we are needed to aid here, and we embark on the mission, A Shadow in Eriador, Chapter 1. And we just continue, and now we'll see. The theft of the Matham House is the talk of the Shire, for seldom do the Shire folk play a role in the larger world. And so these events seem small as a hobbit. But one small fellowship has gathered together to seek out these brigands. Okay, so there's been a theft. We're going to hunt down whoever did it. So now we have to select our roles. So Legolas is going to here. I'm going to be the hunter. And Drako as Gimli will be the guardian. And from what I understand, you can also switch this up between missions. So if you do a full campaign, you don't have to stay the same class the whole time, which sounds really fun. Okay, so now we're just loading here. And now, somewhere amid this maze of dark thickets and steep gullies, the band of thieves now hides. Your direction is informed by a set of tracks from 2 days ago, and you can only guess the location of the thieves' lair. So, now the app will instruct us to set up the actual play area. So we start with tile 302A as indicated. Okay, so I'm placing it out here. I'm going to show you in just a bit how it looks on the board. Then we have, if you cannot locate and enter the hideout by dark, the trail may be altogether lost. Place heroes as indicated. Each hero scouts 2. Okay, so we will start over here. And now I will go back to the table and show you how the scouting action works. So it's sort of a separate sort of action you can do. So, back to the table. And here we have the map tile out here. So, as you can see, we are out here on the indicated spot to start. There could be an exploration token right here, but it's not going to be right now because we started there, so we already explored that tile. Now the scouting begins. In the scout 2, I'll start with myself here. I will take the top 2 cards off the deck and I will look at them, and I will be able to choose one of these to prepare, to put out here in the prepare area. So that will give me sort of a special ability as long as it's out here. So I could either go for tireless. At the end of your turn, you may discard this skill to perform an action that you have not performed this turn. So, yeah, let's speak a bit about the actions. There's 3 actions in the game that you can do on your turn. You can move or travel, you can fight, or you can interact with something out here on the map. So, and you can do 2 actions, and you can do 2 of the same or 2 different ones. So let's say we traveled and then we interacted. By giving up this tireless, I could also do an attack. I could do something that I didn't do during the turn. Or I can keep this ancient wisdom. When you test whatever that is, the wisdom skill, you may discard this skill to add 1 success. That sounds really good. So yeah, I think I'll keep that one. I'll keep the ancient wisdom. I can put tireless on top or on the bottom of my deck. I think I'll put it on the bottom for now. Then Drako will do the same thing here with Gimli. So 2 cards. And he could have ready defense. It's a tactic. When you test to negate damage or fear, he can add a success. Or he could use this for guard 2. You could discard this to prevent 2 damage or 2 fear in any combination for a hero in your space. So he could sort of avoid damage that way, or he can even protect me since he's guardian. Or he could keep the Poet's Heart. Before you interact with the person token, if we find persons out here that we can talk to and interact with, before he does that, he gains 1 inspiration. This can also be used as a rest too. Discard this at the end of the turn to discard 2 face down damage or fear. And I think he will keep this to be able to heal himself a bit. Also because if you look at the top left corner of these cards, this one has a success symbol. So by having this one in the deck, when he does a test, he will draw cards from the deck, and if the success symbol is there, then that will be a success. This card does not have a success symbol, so I'd rather get this one back into the deck. And we'll put this on top here for Drako, so he knows that the first card he will draw from here will be a success. That's a good one. So that was our Scout 2 action. Let's head back to the app and see what happens. Okay, so we're back into the app. We'll just click continue here. And let's see, a flock of magpies mutters and flutters not far away. Place a search token as indicated. So I'll do that and I'll show you in a bit. Then we continue. Oily smokes rises over a ridge. It is a worrying sign of trouble, but poses no immediate threat. Place a search token as indicated. So we'll place a search token down there as well. And then we place tile 100A as indicated. It's a small one. And they all, of course, are numbered and so on, so you can find them. But there's a bunch of them, so it could be a bit tricky here. You should probably have these organized in some good way, so it's easier to find the right one at the right time. There we have it. We'll just place this down as indicated, and we'll click continue. In the distance, a group of ragtag individuals does close the doors of a stone tomb. Could this be your quarry, the thieves you're looking for? Place a person token as indicated. And as you can see there, we'll also have a spot for an exploration token. I think we will place one, but it will tell us if that's the case. So we'll place the person token for now. We'll click continue. Oh, we just keep going here. 205A, wow. Okay, so that's placed, and now we continue here in the app, and soon you will see how it looks. But we keep going. 208A, wow. As you might have realized by now, I haven't played this, of course, before. I'm doing it with you guys watching and girls, just for the fun of it. I think it's more fun if I don't know what's going to happen. So that's why I don't have a clue what we're supposed to do and when we're supposed to play tiles. But let's place this one down. And actually, let's switch over to the map on the table so you can see how this goes. So we're back at the table, and here we go. So as you can see, it has grown a bit, but we're also supposed to add this one. And it's supposed to go, let's see, 205A. So there, it's supposed to go there, okay. And then the app tells us to put down exploration tokens. So now we take these little exploration tokens and place them right here, because these areas have not been explored yet. The way this works is that when we move, if I move into an area that is adjacent, connected to this exploration tile, then that will be explored, and I will get a, whatever it's called, inspiration, I think, and that will help us out later on. So let's head back to the app. And as you can see, we have placed these exploration tokens, so we'll press continue. Pausing to tighten your boots and adjust the weight of your gear, you take a breath before continuing on. Now each hero has to test, I think that's agility, right? No, it's spirit. Okay, so each hero tests spirit, and it's 1. So we have to reach a success of 1. Each hero who passes gains 1 inspiration. Okay, so let's head back to the table. And okay, we're going to do the test, the first test of the game. And I'm going to show you, let's see, so you can see that properly. And so I start off here. I will look at my spirit. I have 2 in stats of spirit. So I will draw 2 cards, and I hope that I get 1 success. And that's not a success. That's a sort of inspiration symbol there. So if I had an inspiration, I can spend it to make this into a success. But let's draw 1 more, and that's not a success either. So I failed. Okay, so these go to my discard. Let's see if Drako can make it. Well, he can actually, because we know that the top card here is a success. And let's see, first of all, spirit, he has 4 in spirit, so he gets to draw 4 cards, which is kind of waste now because we know there's a success here, but you have to draw the full amount. So he gets 1 success, and that's 2 successes. Wow. 3, no, it's such a waste. And 1 of those, okay. So that means that since he passed, he gets 1 inspiration. So we'll take one of these little markers and put it right here. And as you can see here, he can have 3 of those, at the most, at the same time. And in another test, when he needed to, he could spend one of those to turn this inspiration symbol into a success. But these go to his discard right here. And now let's head back to the app. Okay, so we did that. We continue. Objective updated. Confront the thieves. Okay. And now we're into the action phase. Now the sort of actual game begins. It's a lot of setup to do, but that's how it works. And I assume by confronting the thieves, yeah, we should probably go talk to this person out here. We don't know if that's the thief, though. It's just some shady person, basically. We could also go down here to look at this thing here, the search, and this one, and we can explore up here. We can also, at any time, we can click one of these places, like this exploration, and we just then we just get like the flavor text or the indicated text. If we were to click search here, well, first of all, we needed to be on that space, which we aren't. But if we were there and we click search, that the arrow here in front of it, the search, indicates that that's an action. That's a sort of interacting action. So we have to go cancel here. And we can click these guys as well, I think. But I think that's a bit unthematic to click the people and get the talk options before we are there. So let's just start playing. And I think you can choose whoever goes first because it's cooperative, right? So let's head back to the table and let's see here. I think I will go first. Well, I will also take a look at my items because I haven't done that. So let's take a zoom in here and look. So I have the great bow. It's based on agility, since that little symbol is up in the left corner. It's a ranged weapon because of that symbol. That means that I can attack someone one space away. I don't need to be in the same space like you do with swords and axes and so on. And when I attack someone, for every success I get, I can either spend 1 to get 2 hits or 2 successes to get 5 hits. My cloak here says that before I suffer damage or fear, I can spend 1 inspiration, which I don't have any right now, to prevent one of those damage or fears. That's really good. Then I have prepared here. I have my first starting card, which is resourceful. After you prepare this skill, gain 1 inspiration. Oh, I should actually have 1 inspiration then. Ooh, because it was prepared in the beginning. So I should have 1, which means I could have... Yeah, okay, so I could have completed this test, but that would have been like pointless. I could have spent that to make this a success, which means I would have gotten an inspiration. So it's a wash. And I have let's see, at the end of your turn, you may discard this skill to gain 1 inspiration or scout 1. Okay, so I can use this card to get more inspiration later on. Ancient Wisdom over here that I chose to prepare was when I test Wisdom, yeah, I get to discard this card to add 1 success. So my first action, I think, will be to do a travel action to move. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to travel down here. And I only spent, when you travel, you have 2 movement points. So I only spent 1 of those points, and I can interrupt to do another action to interact with this, and then I can spend my other movement point. You don't have to do those in succession. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to interact with this exploration, or what's it called, search token, and I'm going to see what that is. So let's head back to the app. And in the app here, I'm going to click it, and this time I am going to search. I'm going to spend my interact action, so let's see what happens. A large pile of clothes and other basic essentials lies smoldering in a clearing. It appears some raiders stole these items not for their value, but solely out of spite. And now I should test my spirit, and I need to get 2 successes. Wow, that sounds kind of rough, because I'm only drawing 2 cards, but okay. So, I'm going to test the spirit. And so I'm going to, because I have 2 in spirit, I am going to draw 2 cards. I should also mention that I have a special ability as Legolas. Once per round, during my turn, I may spend 1 inspiration to move 1 space without provoking attacks. Now, provoking attacks is, well, I can explain it if there was an enemy right here. We have a goblin out here, for example. Then I would, if I were moving out of this space, I would provoke an attack. If I were interacting with something in the space, I would provoke an attack and he would attack me. But since I'm Legolas, I can spend 1 inspiration to get around that. Well, it might be useful later on. Now, let's do the spirit test. So let's draw 2 cards and hope we get 2 successes. I don't think that's going to happen. So that's one of these inspiration symbols. And this is lazy. We each had to get one of these weakness cards in our deck. And yeah, Legolas is a bit lazy, obviously. And this is just to clog up the deck so that it's harder for us to complete tests. And I failed totally. I could make this into a success, but that doesn't matter because I needed 2. So these go to the discard, and I failed. And let's see what the app tells us about that. So I fail. You wonder at the cruelty and barbarism of your foes. How can goodness and hope stand in the face of such wanton evil? I suffer 1 fear, because that was, scary, and then I become determined, and then I discard this search token. So back at the table again, I discard the search token, and I will suffer 1 fear, but I will also become determined to stop the evil. So the fear is drawn from a deck of fear cards, just like this, a bunch of them. So I draw 1, and it didn't say face down. Sometimes you just get these face down, and you have like 2 health values basically. You have fear, which in my case I can stand up to 6 before I go into a last stand and might die, and I can take 4 damage. So this is one of those 6 that I started to gather. And let's look at it, and it says rage. Keep this card face up. You cannot prevent damage, including negate tests. When you attack, add 2 hits. Wow. So Legolas was so, he got so angry about seeing those burning clothes and stuff for no reason. So he is raged. And that means that on the one hand, I cannot prevent damage, which I could have done otherwise with my cloak, right? But instead, as long as this is out here, I will add 2 hits to an attack. So that's somewhat good. Remember, I also became determined, so let's take a look at that one. There's 3 different sort of stats you can have, like positive boons, as they called. Determined. When you test, you may discard this boon to discard any number of cards from the test and reveal that many additional cards. That's good. So if I draw fails, like I did earlier here, I can just discard those to draw additional cards. So I'm raged and determined, and a little bit wounded, of course. Well, no, not wounded, but like, mentally, like, affected. So that was everything that happened there. We removed the search token, and I still have 1 movement point, remember? So I will move back to Drako over here. And now we go back to the app and we just continue here. And now it is Drako's turn, and he is going to move up and look at this search token over here. So he will do a travel action, he will move there, and then he will take an action here to search the flock of magpies. You approach the magpies, doing your best to remember the rhyme. 1 for sorrow, 2 for mirth, you count the birds, okay? So Drako needs to test his wisdom, and he needs to get a result of 2. And as we look back here, it's going to be quite hard for Drako as well, because, he has 2 in wisdom. He will draw 2 cards, and he needs 2 successes. Before we do that, let's check out Drako's equipment as well. So this battle axe is a might action connected to, and he has 4 in might, so of course it's strong when he uses his axe. If he gets 1 success, that could be a 2 hit plus a sunder. And sunder, well, there's a bunch of these keywords, but you can always look at the back of the manual, which is really handy. And you can see that here that, let's see, what is sunder? There we have Sunder. This attack permanently reduces the enemy's armor by 1 before hits are applied. So Drako's axe can destroy some enemy armor. That could come in handy. Or he could spend 2 successes down here to get 6 hits. That's really good. His ring mail has a decrease your agility by 1. Normally has 2 in agility, but Drako only has 1 now because he's wearing a heavy ring mail. But if he would test, let's see, if he tests wisdom, spirit, or wit to negate, which is sort of to avoid damage when he's attacked, he can instead test might, which is a lot better at. So that's really good. So let's remember that when he gets attacked in the future. Now his starting prepare card here is you cannot pass. It's a tactic. It says you can use a guard for nearby heroes in addition to heroes in your space. Oh, nearby means 1 space away. So that's really good. So he can sort of, as we stand now, if I were attacked, Drako could use guard to protect me. That's interesting. And this card can also be used as to a guard. Guard 3. Then he can discard this to prevent 3 damage or 3 fear for a hero in your space, or in this case, in a space nearby. So that's really good. He can really protect me. Then, of course, we also prepare this Poet's Heart for him that, you know, before he interacts with a person, he gains 1 inspiration. So Drako is the one that's going to go and talk to this perhaps bandit later on. Also, when at the end of the turn, he can discard this card to rest 2 to get rid of 2 face down damage or fear. And there's a difference between having something face down, or as in my case, I have a sort of showing a rage here. And that means I will have this as long as it's like this. Another effect might tell me to flip 1 fear face down, and then I can get rid of this sort of effects, but I still have the fear effect that counts towards my 6 alive, sort of, or my mental health. Anyhow, that was Drako and all his stats, and now let's do the test and see if he can get 2 in wisdom. So let's see, he will draw 2 cards. And that's not a success. And when you draw them like this, you don't look at the text and all that. It's all about the symbol up in the top left corner. Then he will draw 1 more, and that's a inspiration token. He could spend this to get 1 success, but that's no good. He needed 2, and he doesn't really have anything that can help him out in this case either, so he failed. And let's head back to the app. And we'll press fail here. You can't recall the rest of the rhyme, but decide to leave these ill-omened birds alone. Okay, so he just ignores the birds. Okay, nothing more happens. So they still are there. We could go there later on. And we know that it's going to be a wisdom test, right? And I am really good at wisdom. So I might go there. Well, it makes sense. I could go there and Drako could go talk to these guys later on here. But remember, Drako still has 1 movement point from his travel action. So he will actually go up here and stand next to the maybe bandits. And that is the full turn. Now we've both done our actions, and now in the app here we will go back here and we will click this little symbol down in the right corner to indicate that the turn ends. So end the action phase, confirm. Now we go to the shadow phase, and this is when the bad guys will act and so on. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 6. Okay, so then we'll click continue, and let's talk a bit about threat. So up here we have, of course, Confront the Thieves, our mission right now. And we have the threat meter. And this will rise each round. When it hits 15, something bad will happen. We will have a threat event. If it goes all the way up to 64, we lose the mission in total. I'm not really sure. Maybe we can lower this as well. I don't know. And I think this works like this. It will rise 2 threat for each player, plus 1 for each not explored exploration token. So that's why we got 6, because 2, 2, and 1, 2. Okay. Okay, each hero resets. Now we're into the rally phase, and each hero resets their deck and then scouts 2. So let's head back to the table, and we will reset our deck, which means that we will shuffle our discard pile into our deck. So this is resetting the deck, and then we will also scout 2, just like we did in the beginning. We shuffle this up a bit, and now I will scout 2. I will draw 2 cards, and let's see what I get. So we have the Time of Need. Okay, so this has 2 of these inspiration symbols. So if I had 2 of these, I could spend them to get 2 successes when I draw this as a test. When you test, if you do not reveal any successes, you may discard this skill to convert all of these symbols, inspiration symbols, to successes. That's really good. Or I could go with Light-Footed. When you interact with a search or threat token, this threat token is showing up later on as well. Before you test, you may discard this skill to set agility. Oh, to test agility instead and scout 1. So I'm really good at agility. Legolas has 4, right? So I could do an agility test instead of something else. And this could also be used to sprint 1. Discard this card to move 1 space. But I'm going to not take this card because it has a success. So I want to put it on top here so I know that I have a success coming. And instead I'll prepare this time of need. And when I test, if I don't reveal any successes, I can discard this to convert all of these inspiration symbols to successes. And I should also mention that you can only have 4 of these prepared cards at any time. If you get the 5th one, you have to discard down. These weapons and armor and such, they don't count for that, but these 3 I have now are prepared cards. Now let's head to Drako. So he will do the same thing. We will shuffle up his deck and his discard pile, and then he will scout 2, which means he'll draw 2 cards, and let's see what he will be preparing. And let's see, 2 cards. So Drako has the Undying Might. When you test Might, you may discard the skill to add 1 success. Or Honored Agility. When you test Agility, you may discard a skill to add 1 success. But you know, Drako is a lot better at Might than he is at Agility. He only has 1 Agility because he's wearing his ringmail, so I want to keep this one for him so that he can get a guaranteed success when he tests Agility. And this one I think we'll put at the bottom because I rather, take the chance of maybe having a success on top here. We don't know, might be. So that was the whole sort of rally phase. And as we go back to the app now, we will click continue and go to the action phase. Now we can start doing our actions in the second round. Okay, so let's start with the second round of the game. And now I think that I should head over here and interact with this thingy because, yeah, I'm better at wisdom than Drako was, and I do know that I have success here as well. So let's start by doing that. So I'll go here. That's my travel action. I've spent 1 movement point, so I can still move 1 more. And now I will interact with this. And it's the same thing basically that was earlier here with the magpies. And I need to make a wisdom success and have 2 successes. So let's get going. I have wisdom of 3, so I draw 3 cards. And I know that the first one is going to be a success. Then the second one is a inspiration symbol. And the third one, let's see. Third one is a success. Okay, so I have 2 successes. I don't need to spend the inspiration to make this one into 1. So that's 2 successes, and let's see what the app tells us now then. So we passed the test. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the verse continues. And as you also might have seen there, we got some lore down here in the corner. And lore is sort of a currency, I think, from what I understand, that we can use after we finish the scenario to upgrade our skills and so on. But anyhow, 3 for a funeral, 4 for a birth, 5 for a silver. There are definitely 5 magpies here. And something shines in their nest. You fish out an ancient coin, still shining and pure after all these years. Oh yeah, it says here as well, lore increases by 1. Then discard this search token. Okay, so all we got was 1 lore, but I think that's like money basically at the end of the scenario. And so I need to discard the search token right here. And now I still have 1 travel point, remember. So I'll move up to Drako here in case there's a fight with these maybe bandits. I want to be in the same spot. Well, I could shoot them from over here though. Oh, that's interesting. Let's move. Let's move over here instead then with the other movement point. And as I move in here, I will take this exploration token, flip it over, and I have 1 more inspiration. And I can have up to 5 here. And that's good, because I can use those to make successes. And also it means that when the sort of the threat level rises, we have 1 less point there for the threat. Okay, so that was my whole action. Now it's time for Drako. And he's going to do the first thing he's going to do is interact and talk to this person over here. So let's see how that goes in the app. So Drako we click this, and now we can choose what Drako will tell them. You note the garb mimics that of a Brelanders, but their accents are varied. These are not merely local riffraff. You pause and consider what is your best approach. So Drako could say, well met friends. He could say step away from the tomb or else. He could sneak up and eavesdrop. Well, you know, Draco's a nice guy. He's gonna say, well met friends. We don't know if these are bandits. The group turns on you, weapons and stolen goods in hand. Okay, they are bandits. As you suspected, these are the thieves you seek. Okay, and they are ready to slay you where you stand. Okay, gain 1 inspiration, then discard this person token. Okay, so off cam, sort of, Drako will get the inspiration token. And also, we will discard the person token, because now I suspect... Yeah, now the enemy shows up. Your enemy shows no sign of mercy nor any inclination that they will accept the same in return. Drako just tried to be friendly. With malice in their eyes, they raise their weapons ready to defend what they have stolen. Place 2 ruffians as indicated. So we're going to look here and find those guys. We're going to place them out on the map. You'll see them soon. And then also, as you can see down here, now we have some symbol of enemy down here, and we can interact with that to fight them. So continue. Objective updated. Defeat the ruffians. Okay, so we have a new objective. And now Drako only did one action to interact with that person token. And now as you go back to the board here, you can see Drako is out here with these ruffian guys. They're going to be a problem. So now Drako will spend his second action to fight them. And let's see, what does Drako have for fighting? Does he have any... Yeah. I mean, in worst case, if he takes some damage, he can rest at the end of his turn to discard some damage. So yeah, he's just gonna fight them. So how that works is we go into the app once again, and now we will click this here, and we see that there's 2 ruffians. They have no bonuses. They have 5 health each, and we click the attack button. And now here we can sort of apply whatever result we get. So let's see what Drako will do. So first of all, Drako needs to choose a weapon or an item to attack with. He's using the battle axe, and it has the might symbol there. So he will sort of roll, basically will draw for might. So that is 4 cards. So let's see what Drako gets. So that's an inspiration, nothing, another 2 inspiration, and finally, oh, another inspiration. Wow. So basically Drako could get... He could spend both of these inspirations that he has to get 2 successes. I guess he should. Yeah. Okay, so Drako will... That's kind of overkill, sort of. But yeah, Drako will spend both his inspirations here to turn 2 of these into 2 successes. And then he will assign those successes here. 2 will get him 6 hits. So we enter the app again. Now he could have also spent 1 to get 2 hits and Sunder, but they didn't have any armor, as you can see here in the app. They only have health, so there's no point in that. But if that was the case, we would have clicked Sunder up here and then added the numbers that we had hits. Now we're just going to add 6 hits, like that, and apply. There we go. So 1 guy was taken out and the other one was damaged, and we removed 1 of the ruffians. Good job, Drako. And then we continue. Okay, so let's see. Can the enemy attack? Yeah, because they will attack back if they can. And actually, they can. Because the question is, when can they attack back and when can they not? Well, if they're in the same space as the one they were fighting, then they can do a counterattack, which is the case now. Or if they have a ranged, which we would see down here, they would have a ranged symbol, then they can also fight back into nearby spaces, which is 1 space adjacent. So we will tell the app yes. And a silent jabs a nasty looking sword at you. 2 damage to Drako, but might negates. And you know, Drako is strong in might, so back to the table, Drako here, he will do a test of might, and negating means that, well, he's going to take 2 damage right now, but for every success he gets, that's 1 less damage. So once again, please go to the Discord, and once again Drako will test his might for 4. So that's 1 success. Oh, that's followed. So Golem is actually following Drako. That's kind of cute. And that's his weakness, so that's just clogs up space in his deck. And that's just, oh, that's another success. And a 3rd success, so Drako doesn't take any damage at all. That's perfect. So he killed 1 of the ruffians, the other one was injured, and he struck back, but Drako could handle that with his might. So we just go confirm. And that was the whole thing. And now we both done our actions. I searched those magpies, got some lore, moved on. Drako went and talked to tried to be nice guy, but they weren't nice back and they started fighting. And now it is time to go into the shadow phase where they will probably attack him again. We'll see. End of the action phase, confirm. So Your pursuit has been too slow. The last of the bandits escape. Oh. Disappearing from sight. Remove the ruffian enemy group from the map. Oh, so they escaped. Yeah, he was injured. He met this really angry little dwarf. He didn't want to stay around. Okay. And then we got the lore as well. Okay, sudden movement draws your eye. To your surprise, a goblin breaks cover and sprints away, disappearing into a wall of brambles. You follow with haste and find beyond the thicket a wide valley dotted with a few ruins, but no sign of the creature. And we got one lore. So now we put out, oh, tile 400B, that's a big one. So 400B is the, as we can see here, this ruin and the road. And let's place this in the correct way. So it should be, let's see, it should be on the top of the small one. Yeah, so like that. And now we have to move stuff around again. There we go, had to move Draco's stuff a little bit to the side, but here we have the whole map. And we should also, I guess, place a, we should place Immortiles 200A as well. Wow, this really grows into a huge table hogger here. Okay, so we have all of that in place. And let's see what is next here. Now there's 2 exploration tokens to be placed. One over there in the ruins and one up here. So a lot of things to explore up there and find that goblin, I guess. What has drawn such a creature here, far beyond the reach of any orc stronghold? Its armor bore resembles to that of Mount Graham, but far to the north does that mountain stand. A dark alliance has been formed indeed for such a creature to be summoned here. You must find tracks leading to the enemy's lair to continue. Searching the surrounding area will yield the clues and tracks you need. We need to find 3 tracks. Continue. There's an updated mission here. Objective updated. Find clues to the located hidden. Okay, tracks needed 3. So I'm not really sure how we find tracks, but we'll see. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 8. Oh wow, yeah. Now it increases a lot because those exploration tokens were out there. So it's almost up to 15. We are at 14. So soon we'll get that bad event as well. Each hero resets the deck. We're in the rally phase now. Each hero resets their deck and then scouts 2. So back to the table. We are going to reset our decks here. And we're going to scout 2 and sort of add a 4th prepared card out here. Let's make room for that. And let's see what we get. So 2 cards. And Unyielding Spirit. When you test Spirit, you may discard a skill to add 1 success. Or Precise Strike. Strike 3. When you attack, discard to add 3 hits. But this has a success on it, so let's put that at the top. And let's keep this one because it's, we're not that good at Spirit Test. We only have 2. So having this one and being able to discard it to add a success, that's really good. Okay, and then we do the same for Drako. So let's see here. We're going to shuffle up his deck and discard pile. Draw 2 cards and see what we want to prepare. So 2 cards, and Drako could go with Ready Defense. When you test to negate damage or fear, add a success. And this is also a guard 2. He has a guard 3 already out here that he could use to avoid damage. Then Fury. When you attack, you may spend any amount of inspiration to add an equal number of hits. He doesn't have any inspiration though. I'm going to take it anyway, because this one has a success. It's nice to put that on top of the deck. Drako has a bunch of stuff out here that I'm not really sure that he will use, but when he prepares a new one, he can discard an old one, of course. So that was the rally phase. Now we're into the action phase, and let's start doing things. So much to explore up here. I think we will just, we'll just keep moving, I guess. And actually, I did make a mistake here, because when I removed this exploration token, when I moved in here, I should have told the app, so that the app knew it was gone, and then a search token would have shown up right here. So that was a mistake of me, sorry for that. Alright, so round 3, and I just realized something over here at Gimli. He actually had the Poet's Heart. That's why Draco and Gimli was supposed to talk to the bandits, right? Because before you interact with a person token, gain 1 inspiration. Should have had that. So let's just give him 1 now. Yeah, it's easier to forget small things like that, especially when you're new to the game. Also, I should say that after he attacked, he could have his special ability. Gimli's special ability is that he could have placed 1 card from the test on top of his deck. So that could have been a thing as well. But now we already did the rally, of course, since that, so it all shuffled together anyhow. But let's try to remember that in the next attack. So we are ready for round 3, and I think I will go first here with Legolas. And I will look at this search token here that showed up because we did the exploration there. So let's go to the app and let's see what that is. Alright, so here we are, and it's this one, so let's check it out. A statue of some tremendous monster looms over the area with something held in its hand. And we do the action to interact and search. As you draw closer, you realize that the statue is a troll turned to stone by the sunlight. Its hand is clasped tight around something that may be of value. So now I need to test my might and try to, grab whatever it is the stone troll is holding. So let's go over here, and I have 2 in might. So well, we should have had Gimli do this because he's much stronger. But let's see, is there anything I have that could help me? I don't think so. This is for wisdom, this is for a spirit. And yeah, when I do a test, if I do not reveal any successes, I could discard this one to convert all of these into successes. So okay, I'm going to draw 2 cards because I have 2 in might. So let's see, and I need 2 successes. This one, and that's not 1. Okay, you know what? I think I would try to do this because you can only have 4 cards prepared anyway. So I will need to discard something here later on. So I'm going to... Oh no, this is if you did not reveal any successes. I did reveal 1 success. Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so I didn't make it. We're spending a lot of time here on failures. And so we'll tell the app that I failed. You give up your efforts for fear of damaging the item. Okay, so with my second action, I think I'll move here instead. Let's have Drako do that with Gimli. So I'll move. I'll do a travel action. I'll spend 1 movement point to go up here. And instantly when I do that, this will be taken care of. So we will flip this to an inspiration. And then we'll tell the app this time that I have flipped that. I have explored. As you can see, it also becomes colored here. It's like black and white if it's not discovered. An ancient oak proceeds over the stretch of hill land, and a rocky slope conceals a bare den. Discard exploration token, gain 1 inspiration. Yeah, we already did that. And now, cobwebs shroud an old statue. Place search token as indicated. So another statue out here, on the spot where I am actually. And the journey continues, okay. So let's see, I still have 1 movement point, so I'll be moving. I'm gonna spend the other movement point to go up here, and we have another of these explorations going on here. So in the app, we'll tell the app that this is explored as well. The ruins of a huge castle still stand here, partially intact. Discard exploration token, gain 1 inspiration. Yeah, we'll do that. That's nice. A lot of inspiration now for Legolas. And then a loose pile of rock lies on the ground. Something glimmers within. Place a search token. Okay, so we have a search token in that location as well. So, you hear plaintive yowling from among the ruins. Place a search token. Okay, there's more search tokens out here. So much to do. Exciting. Okay. Something pale on this tree flutters in the breeze. A search token there as well. Okay. So a bunch of them here. And then we continue, and the journey continues. Okay, so that was my action. I did the travel action. Well, first of all, I tried to interact with the thing over here, but that didn't work out. And then I did the travel up there and discovered all of these things here. So now it's time for Gimli, Drako. So where is he going? Let's see. I think because we know this is might, So let's have him do that. So he will spend a travel action to move here. Then he will interrupt that movement to do a interact just as I did. And once again, it's that statue. And we're going to search. And he needs to pass a test of 2 might. So let's see. He has a might of 4. And does he have anything that could help him out here? I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's just go with 4 cards. He needs 2 successes. So this is a success, of course. We knew that. And then 2, 3, and 4. That's overkill. 4 successes. Wow. That was such a waste. But maybe he will rally and mix it all up before he does another test. So back to the app. Here we have a pass. Gimli did it. And let's see what he gets. You pull the item free. The troll looks on with a dumbfounded expression frozen in place. Discard a search token. Yeah, let's do that. And then it says you have gained the brooch. Oh, cool, we found an item. You or a nearby hero may immediately equip it. Okay, so let's go check it out on the table. So let's see. The brooch, and it showed something like this. So I'm going to try to find it here. And that sounds like it's a, here it is. And let's see, if you would suffer any amount of fear, you may deplete this item to suffer that fear face down instead. Okay, and it has 2 uses, so we'll put 2 of these little bags on it. And that means that 2 times we can deplete, which is to use these tokens that we put on here, to suffer the fear face down instead. And Drako has to take it since he is all alone. Since he's not nearby me, he's not next to me. It's 1 tile away, sort of. Well, it's like 2 tiles away from me. But that could be good if Drako gets feared for some reason. And then he still has 1 movement point, so let's move that up here. And so we have both done our turns, and now we will go to the shadow phase. So we click this to end the action phase, confirm. And in the shadow phase, let's see what happens. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 5. Yeah, so now it's 2 for each player and then 1 for the inspiration token that we haven't looked at yet, this one up here. But this is exciting because now we will have a threat event for the first time. So we'll see what that is. From a nearby tree line you hear the warble of an unfamiliar bird. Then without further warning, arrows whistle through the air around you. Each hero tests their agility. Each hero who fails suffers 2 face down damage. Okay. So let's start with me. I am good at this. I have 4 in agility. So I draw 4 cards. Now this actually happens before the rally. So yeah, Drako has his discard there. So I have a miss, the lazy. I have a success. I need 2 successes. There's an inspiration. And there's an inspiration. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 inspiration. That means that I will not take any damage. I passed the test. So let's see how Drako is doing over here. So he only has 2 agility. He actually has 1 because he's wearing his ringmail. But he has this one, own agility. When you test agility, you may discard this skill to add 1 success. So he can get rid of this because he's only going to draw 1 card. And he needs 1 success or an inspiration. And it is the Golem. It's followed. Wow. So Drako failed and he's going to take, let's see, he's going to take 2 face down damage. But he could use this one, guard 3. I think he will. Discard to prevent 3 damage. Yeah, it's just a bit over, we're not using it to its full potential. But still, it's good to get this into the mix as well. So it goes to his discard pile. And now he has a spot that he can prepare another card as well. That's what I'm thinking. We don't want to have to discard anyway. So nobody took any damage. Let's head back to the shadow phase in the app. And so we continue here. And an enemy shows up. A goblin scout shows up on the indicated space. That's interesting. And then we have 1 orc marauder. Wow. These guys are so all of a sudden showing up here, starting to become a problem for us. We need to kill these guys, I guess. I'll place them on the map. And then we have the rally phase. Now we're going to reset our decks and then scout 2. And then it's the action phase. Okay, so let's start with me. I'm going to reset my deck here. I like fighting these guys because I am raged, remember? So when I attack, I add 2 hits. But I cannot prevent damage. So like in this event, I couldn't have prevented damage even if I had a way to do that. So 2 cards, and let's see what the scouting. We have light-footed. When you interact with a search or threat token, before you test, you may discard this skill to test agility instead and scout 1. Okay. And there's also a sprint one there, and then we have, they're both the same. They're both exactly the same, okay. But it is a success on them, so I'll put 1 at the top. And let's see, do we want to prepare this one? I don't know. I think we do. So let's do it instead of spirit, because we're kind of weak in spirit. Let's get rid of this, and since we have this, if we interact with the search token, which we will do, there's a bunch of search tokens out here, and we have to do a test, we can discard this card to make it a agility test, which I'm really good at, and also we get to scout 1 as well. So that's great. Okay, so that was it for me. Now let's head over to Drako. We are going to shuffle all this together. And Draco's, if you're confused, this is just like playing solo. We play two-handed. But I'm sort of playing with Drako. He's sitting over here and I'm helping him out with his cards, because it's really hard with those dragon pawns. So 2 cards. And Clever Wit. When you test, what is that? I haven't learned this yet. Okay, Wit, yeah, of course. You may discard a skill to add 1. This seems to be one of these for each, skill thingy. And Kinship, Aid. Before a nearby hero test, you may discard a skill for that hero to reveal 2 additional cards if they are a dwarf. Oh. So basically... discard a skill for that hero to reveal 2 additional cards if they are a dwarf. There's no other dwarves than Gimli in here. I don't know how they thought about that, but okay. So you may scout 1. Now let's take this Clever Wit. So if Gimli needs to do a wit test, then he only has 2. Then it's good for him to have one of these. And we'll put this on the bottom because there was no success there. So we have done the rally phase, and now it's time for the action phase for round 4. And I'm thinking that maybe I should just move and start attacking these guys. Yeah, I think so. Because they will, or we could just move and search. Actually. Let's have Gimli go first, and he's going to search this one. So let's go to the app. And let's see what that is. Cobwebs around an old statue. Let's see. You brush aside the cobwebs and study the weathered features of the statue's face. Test wisdom. Okay, test wisdom 2. Okay, so Gimli only has 2 in wisdom. Does he have anything that can help him with wisdom? No, agility and wit. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so he's going to test 2. And that's inspiration. And that's inspiration. He only has 1 inspiration. If he had 1 more, we could have solved it. But he failed. Okay, we're not doing good on these tests. So we're going to tell the app that we failed. You may never know why this statue is here. Continue. Well, we probably will know because the search token is still there. So should he just try again? I'm thinking he could just try again. But it's probably going to be exactly the same thing, which means it's not really likely that he will make it. So instead, I think he will move. He will do a travel action. And I think he will actually move 1, 2, all the way up here. So he can start maybe searching this one next round. And let's see. Wisdom. I'm pretty good at wisdom. Let's move down here. And let's do that search token. So let's see the old statue and test wisdom for 2. It's the same, of course. So wisdom in my case is 3 cards, and I have a bunch of these, things that could help me out, like the ancient wisdom here. So let's see. That's a success. Second card is not a success, and the third card is an inspiration. Okay. I have a bunch of these, but no. Let's spend this ancient wisdom. Let's discard it to when you test wisdom, you may discard a skill to add 1 success. So that's 2 in total. Let's see what we found. So we passed, and we got a lore. Oh, this statue is of an ancient king. You had no idea his reign included this region. Okay, so we get a lore, we discard a search token. And that was that. But now I still have one more movement out here, right? Because I did a travel action, I moved here. I'm going to move away again because these guys will keep following us, probably attacking. It's good to be a bit away there. So let's see what happens in the shadow phase. And now for the first time we have enemies out on the board when the shadow phase comes. So we end the action phase. And move to... Okay, so it marks this goblin guy, and he's going to move 2 and attack Gimli or the closest hero. So we can see on the map though, out here, that he cannot move 2 and attack Gimli because he's too far away. But then he's going to go by the closest hero instead, so he can go 1, 2 and attack Legolas. That's what he's going to do. So we tell the app that he can attack. If he couldn't attack now, if we have both been too far away from him, then we would have told it no target. He wouldn't have moved and so on. This whole text would be ignored, and we would tell it no target, and then we would get another result instead. So no. Now I clicked no target. That was wrong. And let's see, can you go back? That's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that before, but I know like in Mansion of Madness that you cannot go back, I think. Which is annoying. Because I did a mistake. It's very easy to make a mistake, of course, and then you cannot undo it. Okay, so let's just pretend that he couldn't make it here for some reason. And so instead he would... Snarling, a goblin stalks after you, determined to draw blood. Move 4 spaces towards the closest hero. Okay, so he would end up in my space. Now we sort of got a bit lucky here because I did an error. But on the other hand, we got unlucky earlier when I did an error with the exploration token. So let's just call it even here. And then we have the other guy. He's going to move on and attack Legolas or closest hero. And as we can see out here, he cannot, because he will move on and he cannot attack Legolas. He doesn't have ranged. So we will tell it, no target. Howling a fierce war cry, the orc marches towards you, move 2 spaces, yeah. So then he catches up with Legolas. Now we're all in 1 space. And the shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 5. So we're close to another of these events, which is probably when these guys spawn and so on. And now we're going to reset our deck and then scout 2. And then we have the action phase. So I'm going to reset my deck here first. And yeah, I hope that's something that will be in the sort of in the final build, in the final version of the app, that you can actually go back if you make a mistake. Okay. So let's see. Undying Might. When you test Might, you may discard this to add 1 success. That could be good because I'm bad at Might. And Agility is the same for Agility, but I'm good at Agility, so let's put this one down here, prepare it, and let's put this one at the bottom because it's not a success, it's just an inspiration token on it. Then let's go over to Drako / Gimli, and let's see what he will get. And he already has 4 cards prepared, so he needs to discard something. So 2 cards, and it is a little bit fiddly with these small cards. I can see why they chose to go with small cards, because it takes up a lot of space on the table, right? If you're like 5 players, but still. Then we have the Kinship. It's the aid card that we talked about earlier, and the Ready Defense. And this one has, when you test to negate damage or fear, add 1 success, and it has Guard 2. And I think since we have enemies out here and we're going to be fighting, I think Guard is a thing to have. Let's put the Kinship on the bottom. And what will we get rid of here? The rest is good. Wit, Agility, Fury. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the fury because this lets us spend any amount of inspiration to add an equal number of hits, but he only has one inspiration, so it doesn't matter. So let's do that. Okay, so that was the ready phase, and now we're in the action phase, and we need to kill off these two enemies, of course. And I cannot move out of here. If I move out of here, they will attack. But then again, Legolas' special ability is that once per round during your turn, you may spend one inspiration to move one space without provoking attacks. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend one of these to move one space without provoking attack. Normally you would provoke an attack if I do this, but I'm going to move up here. And then I'm going to attack. So that was not an action. No. I still have two actions. So the first action will be to shoot in here with my ranged weapon, my great bow. Alright, so let's also remember that I am in rage, so I will attack, I will add 2 hits. So we go to the app once again, and I'm going to attack the goblin here first. He only has 3, let's see, he has 3 life, but he has 1 armor. If I go for the other guy, he has 5 life, but he has 2 armor, okay. So let's do the scout first of all. And since the bow doesn't have any, I don't have any way to sunder the armor or pierce the armor. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to do a normal attack. But I am going to use my bow, and I need to get these hits, but I'm going to get them by using agility, and I have 4 in agility, so let's do the test. So here we go. That is an inspiration. That's an inspiration. That's a success, and that is nothing. Okay. So let's see, he has basically 4 life because he has an armor, right? And armor works the way I think that if I don't kill him, then he will get his armor back for the next attack. So, you know, it's like a defense that comes back in difference from the life. So basically I need 2 successes. So let's just... No, I don't actually. I am going to just spend that 1 success to do 2 hits with the bow, but remember, because I am raged, I will also add 2 hits, so I have total of 4 hits. So let's tell the app that I did 4 hits, and I think that's enough, right? Yeah, there we go. Apply, and the goblin is killed. Okay, remove it, and you or a nearby hero gain 1 inspiration. Now I could give it to Drako because he is nearby, but I think I'll take it myself because, yeah, I feel like I need it. Okay. And then we're just gonna go straight into the second action of the turn, which is to attack the other guy. And he's a bit stronger, so let's see. So out here we are going to use the bow once again, and we draw 4 cards with the agility. So that's a miss, that's the lazy. Then we have a success, another success, and nothing. Okay, so 2 successes, and we will get to add 2 hits here. So that's a total of 7 hits. That's going to be enough. So we're happy with that. It's good being raged, actually. Really good. Okay, so let's tell the app that we did total of 7 hits. And that's just what's needed to kill the Orc Marauder. And this time I'll give the inspiration to Drako since he's nearby, so that he has some... okay. You know, Gimli got inspired by seeing Legolas killing off these orcs and goblins. Okay. So that was my whole action. I did 2 attacks, and I started off with doing this special action to make a move by spending an inspiration. And that was also nice because I could get away from them. Now, if one of them had survived, they would have tried to counterattack. But since I was 1 space away and they didn't have any range, then they couldn't have done that counterattack. That's why I wanted to move out of there first. Now it is Gimli's turn, and I think we'll start off by just searching this spot here. So let's tell the app here that we are searching. Something pale on this tree flutters in the breeze. Search. Okay. The fluttering thing is a piece of paper nailed to a tree. When you're near enough to read it, you realize it's a letter. My darling Esme, I fear this shall never reach you, but nevertheless I must try. I have loved you for so long that I don't remember not loving you. Your gentle touch and sweet words have bowed my heart from the depths of despair time and time again. We head into the forest at dawn and do not know if we shall return from our dangerous mission. I can only hope this finds its way into your hands. I love you always, Matthias. And now we need to do a test of spirit. Spirit test 2. So we look at Gimli's card here. He has a spirit of 4, which is really good. So this looks good. We need to get 2 successes with 4 cards. So here we go. And that's 1. That's 2. So we're already done, but we need to draw the full amount of 4 cards. And that was 3 successes in total. Perfect. So once again, we tell the app that we passed. The words fill you with joy and sorrow in equal measure. You wonder if Matthias ever returned to his Esme and hope to find someone with whom to share a love so deep. Gain 1 inspiration and become determined. Nice. And then discard the search token. Okay. So out here on the map, we'll discard the search token. We will get 1 inspiration. So now Gimli is up to his max of 3. And then he also becomes determined. Which, by the way, Legolas is also determined, and that means that when he does a test, he may discard his card and to discard any number of fails, basically, and draw new cards. And the same goes now for Gimli. So that's nice. We feel like we're really, getting our strengths here, taking out enemies, and it's going well. That was just the first action, though, for Gimli. So what should he do with his second one? Well, he's not doing any good standing around there, so I guess he could move. I think he will move in here so that this exploration token gets revealed. And let's see what happens. Explore. The spray of these waters keeps the bank damp and muddy. Perfect for preserving footprints. Oh yeah, okay, we probably found the footprints here. Discard the exploration token and gain 1 inspiration. Oh, now he can't have any more inspiration. That was sad. Because we just, talked about that he reached his maximum. Looking down a muddy ridge, you notice what may be tracks on the shore. The way down, however, is steep, slippery, and bears no clear path. Place a search token as indicated. So we have a search token down there. And we continue. High in a tree, you see a shoddy platform crafted from old lumber. The vantage point might make it easier to spot signs of thieves. Place a search token, okay? That's on the spot that he is standing, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. In the forest there. And then the journey continues. And let's see, out here on the map, he still has 1 movement. So I guess he'll move over here then. So that he can check that out next turn. Now let's go to the shadow phase. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 4. Yeah, now it's only 4 because we get rid of that exploration token. But we will have a new event. An elderly crow, perched in the shadows of a dying elm, watches you with malicious intelligence. Its incessant cries grows louder and shriller until it erupts into flight and streaks over your head, followed by the cries of more dangerous foes. Okay, so we're gonna have some spawning here, I guess. Oh, all the way down there we have 2 goblin scouts, okay. I'm gonna put them on the map here off cam, basically. You'll see them later. And we're also gonna have an orc marauder right next to us. Here, okay. And now we have the rally phase. We will fix the decks and then scout 2. And we're going to go into the action phase. I'm gonna start with myself, as usual. And let's shuffle these up. And let's see if there's anything I want to prepare in here. I'm kind of happy with Legolas state right now and the cards and all. We'll see what we get. So we did get the Precise Strike. Oh, that's a good one. That's a tactic. Strike 3. When you attack, discard this to add 3 hits. So together with the Rage, that will be an extra 5 hits. Or Clever Wit. When you test Wit, you may discard a skill to add 1. These are like the basic ones, 1 for each of the different types. I think we're going to go with Precise Strike, actually. And we put this one on top because we do have inspiration, so we can get that into successes. And what do we get rid of? I think we get rid of time of need. This says that if we don't get any successes when we do a test, then we can discard a skill to convert all inspiration to successes. But that's not really likely to happen, right? I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but you know. Then let's do Drako. Same thing here for Drako Gimli. Drako, aka Gimli. This is a new go by name, I think. And then we go 2 cards. And by the way, you can see these guys are out here, the Goblins and the Marauder. And Drako got the Ready Defense. When you test to negate damage or fear, add 1 success. And it has Guard 2. Or you cannot pass. Oh, this is the one he had from the start. And this is really good. He can use Guard for nearby heroes, in addition to heroes in your space. It has Guard 3. I definitely want that. I will put the success on top of the deck. And I think we'll get rid of this clear wit here. We don't know when he's going to test wit, right? So I'm happy with that, because now he can once again discard to prevent 3 fear or damage. That's awesome. So what do we do for actions? I think we do want to kill that guy, but I can do that with my bow. So let's have Gimli here do a search here on the search token. So he's searching and looking down the muddy ridge and all that. And let's see, you descend. Oh, this is fun. You descend carefully, struggling to maintain your footing. And here he's going to test agility, but we don't know how many successes he needs or what will happen depending on the number of successes he gets. So let's try it out, and let's go here. And Gimli here, he only has 1 agility since he's wearing the ring mail. But he does have his own agility. When you test agility, you may discard a skill to add 1 success, so that's good. Okay, so let's go 1 card, and he needs, yeah, we don't know what he needs, but that's a success. And we're also going to get rid of this on agility, and that's another success. So 2 successes in total, and let's see what that leads to. So we're going to put in 2 here and go confirm. Halfway down the steep slope, the mud gives way beneath you. It's not that agile, you know. Keeping your footing, you slide down with care and come to rest beside the tracks. They are heavy and wide, large for a man's. Okay, so it's a man's footprints, okay. Strange though it may be, it appears a large number of orcs have traveled through this way. Okay, discard this search token. So orcs are sort of hunting the thieves as well, it looks like. Or maybe they are cooperating. You cast your gaze deeper into the wild. Perhaps the remaining thieves and their allies from Mount Graham are hiding in those hills. Oh, so now a tile shows up over there. 206B. Okay, so we place that and we continue here. And we're also going to place 204A. Okay. And it's starting to take up a lot of space on the table, but let's continue here. And we also will have 201A as indicated. Okay. Alright, so we have like a whole new area over there. And then 3 new exploration tokens, of course, to be placed out here. And then we continue. You compare, oh, we got a lore. You compare the information you have discovered with what you already know of the region. Seeing no obvious signs of the lair, you begin to surmise where the lair may be and continue your hunt. We got a lore, and then we got 2 of the tracks needed. Okay. So now we need to find 2 more tracks. It's probably up here, I guess, in some of these search tokens. So, okay, so that was Gimli's first turn. He did that. And now he's going to do a travel action to just move over here. Just move 1 space, and then he can search that next turn. Then it's my turn. I will start by attacking. I will attack this orc here. And we go into the app, and we're going to tell the app that the orc is under attack. He has 5 and 5 health, and then 2 armor. And let's see. Of course, I am going to use my bow. I need to shuffle the cards around a bit for the camera, though. But you can see it, I hope. Let's do zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to use the bow, and let's see. I still have the rage. What else? I have the precise strike if I need it. But I am going by agility, of course. That's 4 cards. So let's see what we get. So we have 1 inspiration, nothing, and nothing. And 1 success. Oh. Okay, so we're going to spend 1 inspiration to turn this into a success. That means that we have 2 successes, which means we can, with the bow, we can do 5 hits plus 2 because of the rage, and that's going to be enough to take out this orc. So in the app, we're going to tell it we got 7 hits in total, and apply, and he is gone. And I can actually get an inspiration back, which is good, because I just spent 1. So that's good. Let's continue. That was my first action. Now for my second action, I will search this token. You hear the plaintive yowling from among the ruins. You find a hunting camp nestled in the ruins. A lone hunter dozes near a fire. A young bear cub is alternately wailing and trying to bite through the metal bars of his small cage. So we can either quietly free the cub, or we can demand the hunter free the cub. Let's not be quiet about it. We're gonna demand the hunter to free the bear cub. You shake the hunter awake and bellow your demands. Okay, so I need to do a might test and get 2 successes. And my might is only 2 though. Let's see, I have this undying might that can help me out. So let's draw 2 cards. And we get 1 success and 1 inspiration. I like to keep this inspiration, so let's just get rid of this undying might to the discard pile. So that's a total of 2 successes. We'll tell the app as well. So we pass. The bewildered hunter lacks the fortitude to stand up to anything more dangerous than a bear cub, and quickly does as you say. The cub happily climbs into your arms. Oh, how lovely. And we get an inspiration. That's perfect. And then we discard the search token. Okay, so that didn't lead to any tracks, but still we saved a little bear cub from captivity. So the cub sticks close to you, perhaps afraid that alone the hunter might catch him again. Perhaps his proper caretaker is nearby. Okay. Interesting. We might meet someone else that, like a bear mother that wants her cub back, and maybe we don't have to fight her then. I don't know. I just love this adventure. So back here again, I did fight and I did interact. So now we're done and we're going to go into the shadows phase. We're going to end the turn here, end the action phase, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so these guys will move 2 and attack Gimli or closest hero, but moving 2 they won't reach anyone, so no target. Snarling, okay, so now they instead will move 4 spaces towards the closest hero, and they are sort of one group. Even if there are multiple people in that group, or goblins in this case. So both of them will do everything that this says. So we continue, and then the shadow deepens and threat increases by 7 now, because we do have a bunch of exploration tokens over here on the west side that we haven't looked at. Now we do the rally phase, and then we're ready for another action phase. And I wanted to show you here, they're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to move us, in the shortest path they can towards the closest hero, which was me in this case. Now we're going to reset the decks once again. And let's see what we get this time. And there's not that many cards here, so I guess in time you will just learn basically what you have in your deck and what you might get. And so we have the light-footed. When you interact with the search or threat token, we can discard this to test agility instead of whatever that was. Or the Undying Might. I'm going to take the Undying Might again because I want to keep this one in the deck, but since it has a success token, and I can even get to place it on top of the deck. For Drako, we'll do the same over here. Let's see what he gets. And from what I understand, these cards will be, your deck will be upgraded as the campaign goes on. You will upgrade your skills and so on, which, sounds really cool. Okay, so let's see what Drako got. The time of need. When you test, if you did not reveal any successes, you may discard this skill to convert all inspiration to successes. Or owned agility. Okay, we're going to take owned agility again and put this one on top because he has inspiration, so we know we can get 2 successes there if we need to. And that's good. Having the own agility is so good for Gimli because he's so bad at agility. Same for me with might, so yeah. So let's do the action phase. Now I have something to shoot at here, so I think I'll do 2 attacks basically. But I think before I do that, let's have Gimli search this one. I'm curious about what that watchtower is, that we could sort of get a peek out of here. Shoddy platform, not a real watchtower. Okay, you leap for the first branch to begin your ascent. Okay, well, Gimli shouldn't be climbing trees with his ring mail on, but he's going to test agility. This wasn't the best idea. But okay, so he has 1 in agility. He has 2, but -1 because of the ring mail. But he does have his own agility here. Maybe that can save him. And he's going to draw 1 card. But remember, we know that the top card had 2 inspiration on it. So we can spend 2 inspiration. And we're also going to spend the own agility card so that we get a total of 3 successes. I think that's important. And let's see what happens. We don't want him to break a leg or something like that. So let's add 3 successes and confirm. You find yourself in a tangle, the very branches you hope to use instead impeding your advance. You retreat slightly, looking for a better path. Gain 1 inspiration. Okay, so you got 1 back at least. And that was not enough. That's interesting. I thought 3 would be enough, but wow. Maybe if he had like 2, he would have taken, gotten injured as well. And maybe he needs 4 to make it or something like that. So should he try it again? No, he shouldn't, because now he doesn't have that own agility thing again. I should do that. So let's have him travel. And actually, I want him next to me in case I will start taking damage, so that he can take the, do the guard to discard to prevent damage. So I think with the travel action, he's gonna just move down here actually. Or maybe, no, let's have him move into my space, so we're in the same space. That feels better. Okay, and now it is time for my second action, which will be to fight. So in the app here, we will tell the app that we are fighting the goblins. They have 3 life each and 1 armor. So 4 basically. And then of course I will use my bow as usual. It has the range. I can attack them 1 space away. They are nearby, as it's called. And I have 4 agility, so let's just draw 4 cards and see what we get. So it's 1 success, nothing, an inspiration, and an inspiration. And I think I need, if I get 2 successes, that would be 5 plus 2, that would be 7 hits. I need 8 to take both of them out. So I'm gonna spend 2 inspiration, 1 for each of these cards to make them both into successes, which means I have 3 successes, which means I can spend 2 for 5 hits and 1 for 2 hits. That's a total of 7, and then 2 for being raged, which is a total of 9. So let's go into the app and tell it we got 9 hits. That's just awesome. So both of these guys got just totally ruined by Legolas' bow. And we do get 1 inspiration back as well. So that, yeah, you can count on that, so you know that you can spend some inspiration, obviously. And so far the enemies hasn't been that bad. And I like that I can attack them from a distance, so if I don't make it, they are not going to be able to counterattack since they don't have a ranged weapon. So that was my first action. I actually killed both guys with 1 action. I didn't plan on that, but now I'll do a travel action and move 1, 2, so we get this exploration token out of the way. Let's see what that is all about. Explore, confirm. An area of ruined foundations marks where a settlement used to be. Discard the token, get an inspiration, as normal. And continue. A hunter closes in on a bear cub. Oh, they are trying to get the bear cubs. And we place a person token, as indicated, in that ruin. And we continue. Now, I do want Gimli to talk to that, because he will get an inspiration before he interacts with a person. So that could be kind of good, but he can't really reach that space. So anyhow, we'll stay in the app because we're done with our action phase. Let's go to the shadow phase. The shadow deepens, though hope yet endures. Threat increases by 6. And that's a new event. And if we get to the end of this meter, we will lose the game. So we need to hurry up as well. As the last silver of the setting sun dips out of sight, a long hungry howl sweeps across the valley. The feeling of being watched intensifies. Sturdy, no ordinary thieves would be so allied with the darkness. Each hero suffers 3 face-down fear, and spirit will negate. Okay, so let's start with me. I have a spirit value of 2. So I can negate. We're going to take 3 face-down fear, but I will possibly be able to negate 2 of them. So let's see, the rage though says that I cannot prevent damage, but I can still prevent fear, and my cloak says that I can spend 1 inspiration to prevent a fear. So that's good. Let's draw 2 cards for the spirit test first of all, and that's a inspiration and a inspiration. Okay, so I could spend 2 inspiration. Let's do that. I think we can get those back in time. So I spend 2, and that negated 2, but still there's 1 to go. And then I'm going to spend 1 more because of my cloak. You may spend 1 inspiration to prevent 1 damage or fear. And let's spend that, and then Legolas doesn't take any fear at all. He's not afraid of some howling wolves. Then we have Gimli, and his spirit is 4, so he's much better off. So he's going to draw 4 cards, and that's a success, that's a inspiration, that's inspiration, and that is a success. So he only needs to spend 1 inspiration, and that means he has a total of 3 successes, and he's not going to take any fear either. I mean, come on. Gimli's not going to be afraid of some wolves. Then we go to the app, and we're going to continue. And 3 goblin scouts turns up there in the ruins. Wow, that's a lot of goblins all of a sudden. It seems like I need to do some bow work again, right? Then we have the rally phase, and each hero resets the deck, and then scouts 2. But you know what? I think this is a good place to end this first playthrough. We're going, well, sort of first part of the playthrough. We're going to continue, of course, soon with another part where we keep going and, you know, doing the whole sort of demo adventure, which I think is 2 scenarios. I'm not really sure. We'll see. But yeah, I'll be back soon in a few days with the second part of this playthrough. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to do this, you know, in a good way, switching back and forth between the computer and the board, the table with the board on it. It could be a bit fiddly with the map and all that, and it could be a bit fiddly with some rules that I might have forgotten. But overall, I hope you get a good sense of how the Lord of the Rings journeys in Middle-earth plays and feels and so on. Have a great evening or morning, or whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Be like Drako. Follow Board Games with Niramas on Facebook at BGW Niramas. Board Games with Niramas is sponsored by Alara Games in Sweden.